you know, they had with us.
Can you tell me Can you tell me what a capo is?
The capo was a criminal. Usually they had green buttons here, or whatever it was. There was a triangle, and they were the biggest gangsters from Germany, and they made him, you know, like assistant to the SS, and they beat the people, you know. They hit him, and they did a lot of work for the SS.
Were you beaten?
I was a lot beaten. Yeah, I had I had my teeth knocked out. I had my neck opened up. I got scars. I got bitten in my leg from a big Doberpinscher, and I found out after I came to America that I had a brain tumor, and they don't know if it was from a hit or not, you know. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I had a big tumor in my head, which they took out about 10 years ago now.
When you were being mistreated, did they just do it for no reason at all?
They did it for no reason at all. And sometimes, you know, when there was a Jewish holiday, they let us know, and they give us real beating. And they ask us, do you know what it is for? Well, we said, no, you know, who knows? I mean, who thought about that? And they knew when the holidays came, the New Year's, the other holiday, they knew every holiday. And that's when we got the beating. And forgot to tell you, we were working on that farm there, and we were feeding the chickens, and we were stealing chickens to survive, you know. There were people coming from other camp. They used to bring us the soup and whatever we got for the food, the slice of bread and a little marge, and they give us a little more when we sent them a chicken, and we killed the chicken, we turned it till I turned the head off. But I did it. I did it, and then we went to, like I said, we went to cut that high grass there, and that SS was standing there, and I never was, you know, on a farm or anything. I never knew about how to work with tools, farm tools, you know, like a sichel, you know, one of that long, with that long handle. And the SS told us, if you don't, I give you 1 hour, and if you don't know how to cut that, I'm going to show you. So naturally, in 1 hour you can learn that. It's very hard to cut that, you know, if you don't know how. So what he did, he took a piece of rope, tied it to my testicles, into the grass, and he kicked me in the behind. And I pulled it out. They were sadists. They were no human beings. I don't know.
You had told me earlier about getting your teeth knocked out.
Yeah.
Did you do anything?
I didn't do nothing. It's just a holiday, so they wanted to know that we should remember the holiday.
Okay.
So.
Let's go back to, you said you were on the chicken farm, and but that was like outside of Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Were there any people, did you make any friends while you were there? Do you know of any, were there people that supported you while you were there?
There were people like me, there were all kinds of people. There were not just Jewish people, there were Gentiles too. And they got bad treated too. I mean, they were, I don't know, they were thieves or something, I don't know where they got him from. There were a lot of people from Holland, very nice people, very, very sincere people. And there were a lot of people just, they had enough, you know. There was wire around that place where I was, And there was electricity in there, and they ran into that. A lot of them committed suicide just running into that barbed wire.
Okay. Can we go backwards a little bit, and can you tell me a little bit about when you first came to Auschwitz, how you were processed?
Yeah, like I said, they took us and they put us outside, and we were standing in the mud for 2 days, day and night. And we were waiting, I don't know what we were waiting for, they just let us stand there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you shower? Did you have to take the
after
showers?
we were through in the yard, they put us in a shower, and we were scared, because we heard about the gas, but it was a real shower. They had real showers, and toilets they had in the barracks, like just a piece of wood, and cement. Oh, it was awful.
What happened to you after that? After you took the shower?
After we took a shower, they gave us the clothing. They give us the clothing, that striped uniforms with wooden shoes. But I couldn't. My feet are so big. I couldn't get no wooden shoes. They didn't have my size. So I just got some rags together, some burlap, and it worked too. But I got frozen.
Did you receive your number at that time?
Yeah, I received a number when I came to and that was the first thing they did. Yeah, that's right. I got the number right away when we came in there. Before we went into that, before we stood up there for 2 days.
How did they do that?
They tattooed it.
Was it very painful?
No.
Was it?
No.
Okay.
It's like a needle sticks you. Mm-hmm.
Were you aware of any resistance activities that were happening at Auschwitz while you were there?
People resisted, but he shot him right there and then. They resisted. Whoever resisted, they were shot. I mean.
Okay. Was there anybody there that you were close to? Did you know anyone from your town?
I was close to the guys laid next to me, but I mean, close. How close? You're close. You're together all day long. You work together.
Did you help each other in any way?
There's nothing you can help. I mean, if they helped, there was somebody helped. They stole your bread if you had, when you went to sleep. Mm-hmm. One stole from the other, just to survive.
Okay. Okay, and then let's move on a little bit forward. What happened to you after you? How long were you in Auschwitz? Do you know?
I was in Auschwitz about, I'm not sure, but I think it was about 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5. Yeah, about 2.5. I'm not sure, but I know it's about 2 to 3 years.
Okay. And what happened? Did you leave Auschwitz finally?
No, the brothers they took us to what's the name of it? What's the name of it? Forget the name.
That's okay. Was it another?
Other camp, yeah.
Another camp?
Buchenwald,
Okay.
that's right.
And can you tell me about going to Buchenwald?
Yeah, we came to Buchenwald, they took us on the train. And we went with the train, like with a cattle train. It was quite far away, it was in Germany.
Was it similar to the cattle train you took to Auschwitz?
Yeah.
Similar conditions?
Yeah, same. And they took us down there and they put us in a... They took everything off of us and we went into a barrack and they had a big pool in there. And we already were scared, that's a gas chamber, but it wasn't. It was a disinfection because we were full of lice, I mean, the lice ate you up. So they put us in that pool, they disinfected us, and they put us in new clothes, the same stuff like we had before.
What did you do when you were there?
We didn't do nothing there. We waited for a transport to go away.
Do you know why you were sent to Buchenwald?
I think that was just they were running away from the English and from the Russians. You know, they just wanted to clear up Auschwitz, to put everything the way it was, level out everything, and you know they didn't leave any ovens there, any crematoriums there. They cleaned up everything.
So did you leave Auschwitz when it was being liquidated? I mean, is
It was
that why you had to
liquidated. That
leave?
was liquidated, yeah.
Okay, and so you went to Buchenwald.
To Buchenwald, yeah.
And what was a typical day like when you were there?
Typical day. You just laid on that. We were waiting for other transport, for other people to come in, and for a big transport, about 2,000 of us went to Siebenbergen or whatever.
What were you like physically at that time? Do you recall?
Oh, I was about half of the, you know, I lost a lot of weight, and physically I was very not strong at all, you know.
What did you weigh originally, and how
I
tall
weighed
are you?
100 kilo, which is about 220, 230 pounds.
And how tall are you?
6'1".
And so then how much did you think you weighed at that time?
That time, maybe I weighed 60 kilo, 70 kilo.
Which is how much
That was
in pounds?
about 160, 150. It was still good because I was in that chicken farm. I had, you know, we always got extra food a little bit, so.
Okay.
But
And how were you treated when you were in Buchenwald?
in Buchenwald, there were the SS. We did a little bit of work, but not just work, just they made us work. They took us to a place where there's big rocks about that big, and we had to put one rock and put it about 20 feet away, and then put it down and do the same thing till the whole pile was gone. And then they reversed it again. After we were finished with it, they let us bring the rocks back on the other pile again. So that's just to have a little exercise, I guess.
Wow. What happened to you after that? How long were you in Buchenwald?
We just went there about a week or so. Not too long.
You were only there for a week?
Just about a week, yeah. And from there, we went to Siebenbergen.
And
That was a place in Germany where they're supposed to make the V2 rocket.
Do you know where in Germany that is?
Near Halberstadt someplace. Lichtenseide was the town I stayed in. Lichtenseide when I ran away from over there, from the net march. But the place was Siebenbergen where we were.
Did you know why you were going there?
To Siebenbergen? We didn't know. Nobody told us nothing where we're going. We just went, and we didn't know, but it was probably further away from the Russians or from the Germans, you know, where they were running away from them. So, and I worked in it's like a mine, you know, there were 7 hills. Siebenbergen is 7 mountains. And there where they wanted to make that V2 rocket. So we worked there, they had lorries there, we were shoveling the dirt and pulling the dirt out into the mountains.
So what were you building there?
We were building a factory there. They were building a factory for the V2 rocket.
So you were building the factory that was going to be used to make this rocket?
To make that rocket, yeah.
Can we go back a little bit to Buchenwald? I wanted to ask you, did men and women live together or
No,
separately?
no,
Were
separate.
there women there?
I saw women sometimes, you know, once in a while, walking, you know, like in a commando and with shaved hair and stuff like that.
Do you recall any women that were pregnant?
No, but I heard a lot of things that the couples got the permission to have for if they did a good deed, intercourse with the women. And they made him, they took him to once when and they took him up into a barrack and they had.
Did you hear about medical experimentation going on?
Yeah. In fact, I had one too.
You had one?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell me about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess so. I was taken to a place where they put some, I don't know if it was experimental or not, but they took something and some kind of a light and put it on my testicles. So I don't know, I think for desperming or something. That I heard that they are, killing the sperm with that thing.
Do you know who did that to you? No. Was this done at Auschwitz?
That was done in Auschwitz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you were in Buchenwald, what was the ethnic mix there? Like the people that were there, what kinds of people were there?
They were from Holland, a lot of them from Holland, and from Poland, a lot of Polish Jews, and there were even Russian Jews there too, Russian people, and Gentile. There were a lot of Gentiles, Gentile. There were a lot of Germans there too, Germans, which were. There were a lot of Germans up there. They were castrated. They were, what do you call castrated? They took the testicles out.
Castrated?
Yeah, castrated, yeah. Mm-hmm. They were running the place too, they were like couples too.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to when you were in Siebenbergen. You said that you were building this
underground factory.
The factory. Okay. How many people were there with you at that time?
I would say about 300-400.
Okay. And how were you treated when you were there?
In that, I tell you, we weren't treated too good. They had the clubs, they were hitting us. Work more, They you weren't treated good, no place.
Okay. Were you fed?
What?
Did you have any food to eat?
We had, but very little. Just a slice of bread and a piece of margarine, and that's it. And some soup, which was made out of some greens. I don't know what it was, cabbage or something. Yeah.
Okay. And how long were you in Siebenbergen?
In Siebenbergen, we were there about 3 months.
Okay. Okay. So you said you went to Siebenbergen from
Buchenwald.
Buchenwald.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything happen on the way there?
That's right, I forgot to tell you. That was the time when they loaded up about 2,000 people. Did I tell you about that? 2,000?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I forgot that. There were 2,000 people on the transport going to Buchenwald from Auschwitz.
Going?
From Auschwitz to Buchenwald in a train.
Okay, so going from Buchenwald to Auschwitz, or going from
Auschwitz, from Auschwitz to Buchenwald.
Okay.
No, from Siebenbergen to. I don't remember if it was from Auschwitz or from.
That's okay.
From Buchenwald. I don't know for sure.
I guess what's more important is what happened.
What happened is there were about 2,000 people in a transport without food, without nothing. And we were on that train for about 2-3 days. And all of a sudden I hear noise, and the Americans, I think the Americans were the Americans, and they bombed the train. And I wound up in a dead body
Why did they bomb the
They
train?
thought, you know, the SS was sitting outside watching, you know, the outside, and the door was a little open. It was a sliding door. And they thought it was a military transport. So they started shooting it, and they didn't know that that was us, you know, the guys from the camps. So it was so powerful, whatever they shot. I mean, there was a hand up there and a head there, and the body was all open. I was laying right in the body, and my clothes was all torn up. I didn't have no clothes, all naked. So after it was finished, I think there were about 5 or 10 people left from us alive.
And there were how many originally?
2,000.
2,000. How do you know that it was Americans that were doing the shooting?
Because that's what the people said, it was
what they said.
American.
Okay.
I mean, you could see the plane, they were real low. I mean, it was the American symbol on there. I'm sure it was the American. I mean, I don't know 100%, but I mean, who else would it be?
What
Or
happened?
the English, maybe the English. Could be the English too, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. What happened to you next? Once you were in the situation, you said you were lying in someone's body.
Yeah. We got out of the train. They took us out of the train. There was
Who took
there
you
was a
out?
little town there, and there were people coming from the town to the train. They
So-
wanted to know what's happening.
So the people
Because
took you out?
The people, and they took us back to the SS. They took us back to the Germans.
Where were you?
Took us-
Do you know at that time?
I don't know where it was. It was the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Did you say about 20 people survived? Is that what you had told
About
originally?
about maybe, I don't think that many, but
Okay.
even the train guy was dead. You know,
The conductor?
the conductor, the locomotive, the one that had the, you know what.
Okay. So you said that the people came from the town and took you back to the
took
SS?
us, yeah, they come and picked us up in a truck.
Okay.
A few of us.
Was this in Germany or?
It was in Germany someplace.
Okay. And what happened then?
Huh? They took us back, and we wound up on a highway someplace where people were walking. Lots of people were walking in 10 people in a row, and they were walking, and that's supposed to be the Death March, on the Death March.
What-
That was the Death March. For 2 weeks we walked, and we walked till I wanted to run away, so.
What was the Death March? Let's go back to that. What can you describe to me what that is?
There's thousands of people from all over. They were marching because it was already, the war was almost over, and they didn't know where to go, so they went one way, and they went all around and around and around. And that was, I don't know where they went. Yeah, I just saw people, the Wehrmacht, there was no more SS on the side. There was all Wehrmacht. In the back, there was SS, and they shot everybody who couldn't walk anymore. They shot him and let him lay.
And who were the Wehrmacht?
The Wehrmacht is the soldiers, the German soldiers, no more SS.
So the non-SS
Yeah,
people.
not SS. And they told us, he said, if you want to run away, we're not going to shoot you because it's 5 minutes before 12. And you can run away, we're not going to shoot you. So me and another couple guys, there was a embankment there, and we rolled down and we went into a barn, and there were a lot of potatoes there with hay, you know, the hay was covered up with the potatoes. The potatoes were covered up with the hay. And the 2 guys start eating, and they died, or 3 guys were there. They died right there. And I heard a noise, you know, in Russian, and they came with the bayonets and they were sticking it into the hay. They thought they were, you know, Germans there. So I jumped up and they saw me, and they took me up into a farmhouse, and they made them kill a beef, And they told him, if he dies, you're going to be dead. The whole town will be dead.
Is that
It
your?
was Lichtenseide. I remember like today. The name of the place was Lichtenseide.
Do you know what the date of your liberation? Is that was when you were liberated, right there?
They liberated. Yeah, that was where they liberated. Yeah, then I was on my own. You know, they put me there. I stayed there 1 month till I could walk. I couldn't walk. I weighed 98 pounds, so I couldn't walk. So the Russians took care of me, you know, food-wise, and then I started taking stuff from the Germans, clothes and stuff, and bicycle, and I started home.
You started home.
Going home, yeah.
From that point in time. How did you get home?
By bike.
Really? And how long did it take you?
Probably a month.
And when you were going there, how did you survive? What did you eat? Where did you stay?
Oh, I took from the Germans. You know, the Germans fed me. I mean, the Germans were good after. They said, we don't know nothing about it. I mean, they didn't know that there was what was going on.
Were these people along when you were going along towards Prague that helped you?
Oh, the Germans. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long did you say it took you?
About a month.
About a month?
Maybe more than a month.
Okay.
You know.
So what happened when you got to Prague?
When I got to Prague, I went to my, where we used to live in the apartment. And the next day, I went there again, and they said there's a parade comes down, you know, from on the street. A parade. Yeah, so the English and the Americans and the Russians, they were marching down the street where I used to live. And I stayed on the corner, and there somebody runs out from a tank. It was my brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
And which brother was that?
That was Ado.
And what
happened? The one what went to Palestine.
And he happened to be?
He was a tank. He was an officer in the tank brigade.
So what happened?
So he told his mother, you know, where's my sister? I said, forget it. They're all gone. So.
How were you feeling at that time when you saw him?
Huh?
How were you feeling at that time?
Oh, I was feeling pretty good. I mean, how can you feel to see a brother after 5 years, you know?
So was he fighting, did you say, for the English?
He was fighting with the Czech. He had Czechoslovakia on his arm here, and they were fighting together in Africa, and they were fighting together in England. They were fighting all over, you know. It was and then after the war, I brought him over here. He's here now.
So what happened after you met up with your brother? What did you do then?
I was given a job in a small town as a commissar. It was as a mayor of a town, and they wanted me to have a good time. So I didn't need any money or anything, you know, so I had to make some money. So I didn't know how to make money, so the guy told me I wanted to make a little music and let him dance and let him pay.
Who sent you there?
Huh?
Who sent you?
The Czechs, the government.
The government?
The Czech government, yeah. And they said, you do the same to them, what they did to you. But I couldn't do it. You know, to treat the people, they wanted us to treat them, you know, sadistically, but...
Do you remember anybody in the Czech government that had sent you there? Where was that located?
It was about 50 to 75 miles from Prague.
Was it in
It was a small town in Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia?
It was near the Sudeten, because there was a lot of German-speaking people. It was the Sudeten. It was in the Sudeten.
Do you remember the name of the town? And how long were you there?
About 3-4 months.
Okay.
Then I came back and I had to join the army.
You had to join the army?
Yeah.
And then?
A year. And then I left for America after.
Let's take a break now. We can do that now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break.